Oh, Jesus, Jesus. Welcome, everybody. Hello, hello, and what is up? Happy New Year's, and welcome back to the Gaming Duel podcast. We are back with episode 102. I'm Kelvin, the Kevlar Vest, and I'm joined by co-host Rob, the robot. Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Happy New Year to everyone. When is it okay to
Absolutely.
stop saying Happy New Year? When do
I
we
think
stop doing
I
that?
think next week we're like,
We're
all
done.
right,
We're done.
it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But Rob, we're finally back. New year. What better way to kick off the new year for new episode, new year, and a new guest? Ladies and gentlemen, I have the pleasure of welcoming and introducing our new guest, a videographer by day, a Twitch streamer by night, the official videographer for several projects and conventions, including Anime Pasadena 2022, upcoming projects at Anime Fire, which we'll talk about a little bit later, and of course, the Side Project Podcast. Let's welcome our first guest of the year, Enrique, aka Ricky Bedolla. How you doing, buddy?
Give yourself a clap. Give
I'm
yourself
great.
a clap, man.
Thank you,
Happy to
thank
have
you,
you on the
thank you.
podcast. Thank you for coming.
I
Thank you,
appreciate it.
man.
I feel honored for being the first of the year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for joining us, man. How you doing? How's everything going?
I'm pretty good, man. Hanging in there. Being patient. I'm being patient.
Nice,
That's
nice.
what really matters.
I know you got a lot of stuff going on. We are glad that you're here with us, and we would definitely want to dive into who you are, what you're doing, what projects you're working on. But we are also here to talk about games, right?
we
Rob, what have you been playing so far?
It's a good question. You would think that with the break you'd have a lot of time to play some games, but I haven't even beat Crisis Core yet, which I was playing quite a bit. I've been playing League of Legends, like always. And that's pretty much it. I haven't really get too many games under my belt, but that's going to change, especially I know next week we have Dead Space coming out, remake, so
Dead
I'm going
Space,
to 100%
baby. Let's
into
go.
that.
Hell yeah, dude.
What about you guys? We'll start with Ricky. What have you been playing, man?
To be honest, I've just been playing Apex, bro. Apex,
Nice.
and I've been playing a lot of Pokemon Scarlet.
Okay.
Yes.
We got words
So-
for you, bro.
Yeah.
Apex though, interesting because Rob and I have some beef with Apex. We try so hard to get into that game, man. Like we've tried so many times, and it just doesn't click for us, man. It just does. I mean, it clicks. It's just we're garbage. We're trash. That's really what it is.
You know what it is? That game is either you love it or you hate it. There's like no in between.
Yeah.
Like my brother tried getting in and he's not good at it,
Yeah.
So it's just
Same, man.
I mean it's just like it's either you love it or you don't.
That's fair, man. That's fair.
Is
yeah,
it
we've
like
tried.
because, yeah. Is it like, do you have it? Is that what it is? Like either have it or you don't? Is that how Apex is?
Okay, let me rephrase it. I think it's like you have to be really patient with the game because there's a lot going on, and if you're not patient with the game, then you're gonna be bad at it because there's a lot of there's a lot of abilities from different characters.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you just have to be patient
Yeah.
with the game. Yeah. I think that's
Okay.
what it
Be
is.
patient, learn the characters. I think that the shooting's hard. I think the shooting's very different from other shooters in a sense because you have to use the abilities
100%.
as well. So it's like a very fast paced mix between like something like Valorant and Call of Duty and what's another third person shooter? Come on.
Shit. Let's go.
Like Halo?
Halo.
Like Halo. Halo's go. Yeah. So like I feel like
Took
you
that
combine
from
all of those together, and that's what you get. So
Yeah.
For sure,
I
man.
agree. I definitely
It's
agree.
I think we got back to it for a period amount of time last year, but it just wasn't clicking for us, man. I just can't get into the guns. I can't get into. I mean, again, it's a great game. I'm so bad at it that I'm like I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So, you might have to teach us someday, and maybe.
Hey,
might
yeah.
play
I
some
mean,
games.
we're gonna have to queue up. Apex
Seriously.
101. I got you guys.
Oh yeah, guys, if you're new to the show, guys, I see some new faces here. Thank you for tuning in. We are the podcast that discusses the latest gaming news each and every Wednesdays live on YouTube and post for your beautiful ears to listen to on Fridays at 7 a.m. Eastern time. I've been playing. As far as what I've been playing, I played a little bit of Scarlet yesterday, day before, and then I played mostly Crisis Core. I'm on that Crisis Core wave right now. And let me tell you, man, I'm in. I'm hooked.
you're riding that wave right now.
I'm hooked.
What about you, Ricky? Have you played any Crisis Core ever? Final Fantasy? Are you into Final Fantasy or not really?
To be honest, I used to be a long time ago. I have not tried any like type of those type of games in a really long time.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I can't butt into that because I haven't tried it in a very long time. Because I've been stuck on, like I said, Apex and just Pokemon Scarlet whenever I'm on the Switch. So
Oh, we got a lot of Switch talk, so
Yeah.
I'm glad you said the Switch. I'm glad you said the Switch. Can I just go right into the news?
That's
or
a good.
do
I think that's a good segue
It's
into
a perfect
our first,
segue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, freaking go for it, dude.
Let's do it. All right. So our first news of the year, which is not actually that. Should I just switch it over to the Switch then?
Yeah, just talk about Switch Pro first, and
Let's
then
do it.
we'll dive into the gaming stuff. So yeah,
I love it. All right. So Nintendo Switch Pro reportedly canceled. This was a big one here. So it was reportedly canceled. The long-awaited Nintendo Switch Pro, according to digital founders John almost said Lennon, Lineman, I think it is. So many developers have acknowledged that there were a mid-generation Switch update initially planned for obviously to launch, but Nintendo decided to focus on building a new console instead. So no more Switch Pro. Instead, we're getting potentially a new console. Don't expect this announcement to be released for this year, or don't expect it to be released at all this year. But John goes on to say, quote, "So I think at one point internally, from what I can understand from talking to different developers, is that there was some sort of mid-generation Switch update planned at some point. That seems to be no longer happening. And thus, it's pretty clear that whatever they do next is going to be the actual next generation hardware. I don't think it's going to be 2023. Interesting. Rob, we've had words with Take It Easy Jono, which is in the chat here. We've had words with Nate as well, right? Saying like, oh, we're definitely going to get a Switch Pro. And now we're eating our words.
Switch Pro too. I say Switch Pro too. I'm Team Pro. Like,
but they're saying it's not happening. They're saying it's not going to happen. So let's leave it with our guest here first. Ricky, what do you think about this news? Were you expecting a Switch Pro? Do you want a Switch Pro? What are your thoughts on that?
I really do think they should bring out a Switch Pro just because all the switches that came out have all been the same.
Yeah.
Like they can make it smaller, but they all been the same. It's the same concept. So
Yeah.
I mean, I can see why, with bringing the Switch Pro out will kind of change the ballgame, but like keep it in the same, like keep it in the same Switch. You could say.
I like that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think I would like a Switch Pro.
Do you have a OLED or do you have the original, the OG one?
I have the original one. I got the one that came out with Pokemon Let's Go.
Okay. It's the has a monogram of the Eevee and Pikachu, right? I think.
That one. Yeah, that one.
So that's normal one.
Yeah.
Chazzy in the chat says, I'm here to tell you it was canceled because they saw my episode where I said it should be called Super Nintendo Switch, and they were like, genius, and scrapped it because it has to be super. 100%, dude. Yeah, Rob, what do you think? I want your thoughts on this.
For the record, when I said Switch Pro, I meant like a newer Switch. Like
all right.
No.
No.
No. It's gonna be a newer Switch. They're gonna. I don't know if it's gonna be called a different console entirely. It's not gonna be a different console in a sense.
Okay.
It's almost gonna be like from Wii to Wii U in a sense. I feel like that kind of transition. It's not gonna be drastic. It's not gonna be anything crazy. But obviously, we're gonna get more horsepower. We're gonna get more. It's gonna maybe be a little more thinner or something like that. But it's gonna be the same type of console in the sense of like in the Switch, like what the Switch is, right?
Okay.
They're not gonna go back to a standalone console. They won't do that. I don't think. I think that'd be crazy if they did that at this point.
It's interesting because I think everyone here and in the chat as well, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but everyone here wants a Switch Pro, whether it's a Switch Pro or Switch 2. They want a beefier, more robust Switch, right? They want something that can actually play games kind of like how we're playing now with our Steam Decks, kind of like how we're playing now with this, like the next gen hardware. They want something more upgraded. They want something that's more like, hey, this is like more premium, right? The Switch is great for what it is right now. I mean, it's been great for quite some time with Legend of Zelda, Mario Odyssey, but that has come and go now, right? Like now it's to the point where it feels outdated, the Switch, right? And so you want something that the OLED is perfect, right? But you want something also that kind of
It has more
increases
horsepower.
that
You want 4K
horsepower.
Though. We want
You want, but I don't know about the 4K thing. I think the 4K is a little bit pushing it for Nintendo, but definitely more better hardware for what we have, right? And it's interesting because Nintendo has a lot to do with they have a history. So you have GameCube, which we talked about this yesterday, Rob, outside of the podcast. But it's interesting to think about the GameCube, where like I played it, I loved it. You played it, you loved it. I'm sure Ricky has at some point played the Nintendo and the GameCube, and he loved it, right? But we don't really think about the Nintendo as a failure, or I'm sorry, the GameCube as a failure. But it was essentially it didn't sell well. It didn't sell as well as PS2. It didn't sell well as Xbox, and so now you have the Wii, then you have the Wii U, which was a failure. Then you go back to the Switch, which is, a success. Obviously, they don't want to revisit the past with the Wii U. They don't want to revisit the past with like having a failure of a console. So their next step, their next console needs to be something kind of within the same realm of what they have right now, right? They don't want to go too crazy, but they don't also want to stick to the same guns all the time. Does that make sense?
100%, man. Like, honestly, by the way, I just had to kill a stink bug that was flying around me.
Was
I don't
that
know
what
if
you were
saw that.
doing?
I
That's what
literally
you were
was
doing?
like, I had to dodge it. Like it literally was about to smack me in the face. So thankfully I had like a napkin next to me, and I was just like, whoop.
Thankfully, man, because Jesus Christ,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
that would have got you, it would have been over. You would have died. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, Ricky, what do you think as far as like the Switch, Nintendo coming out with a new Switch? Do you think it's gonna be 4K, or you don't think they're capable of doing 4K? That thing.
I mean, if they bring out the 4K, I just hope it doesn't lag, or I hope it's not a failure when you bring it out. Because if it's a failure right at release, then everybody's gonna like bash on Nintendo Switch for doing it.
100%. Right.
So if they're gonna do it, I hope they do it right.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll
Listen.
see. I mean, everything is moving to 4K now. It's just
Yeah,
a
man.
matter of time of our TVs and our monitors supporting it.
We're going to 8K now. Like that's like the thing. Like that's like
Yeah.
we're eventually going to get there. And honestly, I don't think they'll make it 4K. If I'm being honest, like it'd be cool, but
Yeah, I don't think
putting
so either.
4K in that tiny screen, it's not really going to work. And yeah, I just don't think we're there yet. Right? So,
I just think Nintendo needs to stick to what they know best. Keep it the way it is now, the hybrid situation going on right now. And don't go crazy. Don't change it. Don't try to be Nintendo. Just like literally make what you have right now, just make it better, bigger, stronger. That's it. Don't go trying to make like different like gadgets and try to make it like stand out. Like I don't want anything that like changes what we have right now. Just make it better, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Hands down.
I think that's. Oh, sorry. I think that's why the Switch was a success, because the Switch was just simple and you could carry it around, and that was like the voice of like Nintendo. You could say, like
Yeah.
that brought out Nintendo to like another level.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you can just plop it on your TV, and now you're playing on a like
That's
a
it.
console. You know what I mean? That was like the genius part of it. Now, what do you think the name would be? Like, what do you think we would name this new Switch, whatever it is? It has to be clever, because the Switch is clever. The Switch like rings. It just like kind of like rolls off the tongue.
I got it.
What you got?
The Nintendo Switchblade.
All right, Rob. You're over here with the Devil May Cry. Like, Jesus. I would think maybe like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Something. It has to be clever. It just has to be something cool. I don't know. They'll think about it. They make the big bucks. You know what I mean? That's for them to decide.
Yeah, that's they'll figure out a name. Switch 2. I'd be happy with
Switch
Switch 2, honestly.
I think honestly, Switch Pro would be the same thing as a Switch 2, right? Like that's exactly what I want. If you make a Switch Pro, it's essentially for me as a Switch 2. So yeah, I'm down. You know what I mean? I'm down for that. When would that happen? I don't know. I would assume maybe 2024, early 2024. So that's my guess. I don't think anything this year though, for sure.
I think they're announcing it with Breath of the Wild 2. Or
crazy.
sorry, Tears of the Kingdom. I think
you're
that's
crazy.
when it's going to come out. Not come out.
crazy.
When they're going to announce it. And you're going to be able to... I think so. But that's just me.
Just gonna go to the chat here. Shout out to the chat. They're going crazy right now.
Yeah,
They're
you're
popping off.
popping off,
OMG Birdie here. What's going on, man? He's saying as much as I love Nintendo, they need to quit being backwards and get with the times. 100%. Right? Where's that internet? Where's that online connectivity? You know what I mean? Like that is straight garbage right now. They need to work on that for sure. Nintendo Switch Portable. Yeah, I mean, it's simple. You know what I mean? Like it's essentially that's what it is. So that could work. You know.
Yeah, I think Eddie said, well, Super Nintendo Switch. Sorry, Chazzy said that. And then Take It Easy Jono also said 8K is running into some serious issues in Europe. They introduced new power limit restrictions for TVs, and 8K consumes over the limit. So the future of 8K TVs is in question for Europe. So we're not going to worry about 8K for a while then, I guess.
Yeah, no, we're good right now. I think the 4K is where we're at right now for now. But yeah, let's move on to news number 2 here, which is now news number 1, or it was news number 1. Every major game for the gaming duo and our guest, Ricky, we're excited for 2023. So this is, Ricky, we didn't share the doc with you, so you have no idea what's going on right now. You're like, what the fuck is what's happening right now? What's happening? What conversation we're doing? So basically, Rob has pulled a nice little presentation for us. These are our hype, one of the most hype games that we are looking forward to for 2023. And we're just going to go through some of the slides real quick just to, see which ones we're really excited for, which ones we're kind of not excited for. And let's go. Here we go. First one up here.
Too, these are only games that have a release date, not like saying like Q4 or Q3. So you're not going to see Final Fantasy Rebirth on here. You're not going to see anything that doesn't have a release.
Spider-Man, yeah,
Spider-Man.
Right.
So obviously those are coming out this year, maybe, but we didn't put anything on here that doesn't have a solid release date. So
yeah. So KBG, if you're listening, no
Pikmin
4, no Starfield, none of that stuff. You know what I mean? First one up here is Persona 3 Portable, releasing on January 19th, right around the corner. Actually, that's like next week or the week after.
Week after. Ricky, are you a Persona fan? Have you ever played Persona?
I never played it, to be honest. No.
Oh man, you gotta play it.
Well,
you're not really an RPG fan, from what it sounds like, right?
I haven't been in a long time, so
okay, gotcha.
Maybe if I get back into it, who knows?
Well, Persona 5 Royal is on Game Pass for free, so if you want to check it out, and that's the newest game in the lineup, you should definitely check it out to play it. It's one of the best RPGs out you can play. I think it's actually got a perfect 10 from like IGN or something. So let's move on. Oh, why did it do that?
Let's move on.
There we go.
Forspoken coming out January 24th. Again, another game coming really soon. This one I have no hopes for. This one is done. This one, I don't know. I had hopes for like a hot second, and this one just kind of, the more I see it, the more I'm just like, yeah, it's not it. And I think you played the demo, Rob. I never got a chance to, and you said it was straight garbage, unfortunately.
It just wasn't polished. I mean, it's a demo, so I can't say, but it was just something that I didn't really want to keep playing. The enemies didn't look that great, and I just didn't. Something felt off to me, but maybe they clean it up. Maybe this game comes out and everything is great and people love it, but not a game I don't think I'm going to get day one. That is for sure.
Same. Ricky, have you heard of Forspoken? Do you know anything about it? It's really a niche game right now. It's made by Square Enix, and it's not doing too well press wise.
I have not heard about it, but from what you guys are saying, like, I think even if a game is being released, even like if you're gonna play the demo, it has to be good.
Right. That's what you're showing, right?
It has to be good, because if it's not good, then why buy the game? You're gonna waste your money.
But yeah, 100%.
I think demos should come out. I think the game should be complete, and then the demo should come out for the game, because that's how you know if people are going to. It shouldn't be like the game's not complete, and then you give a demo, and then people are just going to shit on it because like this game's not complete. Because obviously people are going to be happy with an unfinished game. It's not like way back in the day where you can only play the demo on the demo disc that you got with the magazines. Remember that? I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah.
So people pick apart these games now.
The homie, I'm just gonna call you Yoshi T right now. Yoshi T says, "I know we are only 2 games in, but I feel like we are really lacking in the Yoshi department." I 1000% agree, man. 1000%.
Give me your best Yoshi, Kelvin, right now.
Right now, dude?
Yeah,
it's tough. All right, I don't know if I could do it.
There you go. What about you, Ricky?
I passed.
That's pretty bad.
He's like dominant shit.
So. Yeah, man, I agree. That's definitely lacking in the department. Forspoken, I don't know. We'll see how it turns out, but I'm not really impressed by what I saw. Now, Dead Space, on the other hand, Dead Space remake, I am all for it. January 27th coming out. Again, this is a stacked month, believe it or not. Dead Space, one of my favorite games back in the PS3,
Three. Yeah.
And so, yeah, one of my favorite horror games. Ricky, please tell me you played this game. Please tell me you know about this game.
I know about that game. I never played it because I always had it on my list, but I was always stuck in other games.
Don't lie to us. Don't lie to us. You were scared. You're scared to play it. You were chicken.
This homie over here.
I had it there. I was too scared. Okay, I admit it.
Dude, Rob is the biggest chicken in here. You know what I mean? And he played 1 and 2 apparently. Which
I mean, I could be a chicken and still play them.
That's hard to believe.
That's facts, dude. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. But so are you gonna get this, Rob? Or are you something like? Is this?
Yes, I'm gonna cry, but
I need you to scream this, man. I need to see the fear in your eyes.
Oh my goodness, I can't.
Every time you've already played the game. This can't be that scary. It can't be as scary as the original.
Do you understand that every time I play a scary game, it takes a year off my life?
Oh my god.
So you want me to take a year off my life to play?
This guy has no cojones. You know what I mean?
It's worth it. It's worth it. You know, how about we all get it and we all play together? How about that?
There we go.
There we go. Hold hands. We hold hands to the whole thing.
Just hold hands. Let's do it.
That's what we do. All right. Talk about Dead Space.
Hogwarts Legacy. I am not a Harry Potter fan in the slightest. This one looks cool. This one, I'm like, I can play around with it and see what this does. Coming out February 10th. Rob, this is all you. What do you think about this? Are you gonna get this? What's up for it? What's going on?
I'm very mixed. I enjoy Harry Potter. Like, I've seen the movies, read all the books, like the lore, but this game is very ambitious, and I really hope it takes off. They're promising a lot going into this game. I don't want people to feel disappointed, but I'm going to give this game a benefit of the doubt, where they said you're going to be able to do all these things.
Okay.
And I think it's possible because the world is kind of a contained world for the most part, because you will be mostly around that school area. So it's too big to where like it's impossible. And you can go to class, and there's a bunch of activities you could do, and I'm excited for that because it's a different take on one of like the bigger open world games, you know?
Interesting. Chazzy in the chat says you can murder people in this game. That slightly brought my interest. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why. That's why. Okay.
What do you do? How do you murder people? Like, do you use that hawk thing and like stab people in the face with it? Like, what do you do?
You have a wand, man. Use magic spells. You never.
So you're stabbing people, in the face with your wands and shit. You're just like cha, bitch. Like, what? All right, that's cool. So I'm down with that. Yeah, I will probably watch you play and hear your thoughts before I try it out.
I'm gonna see the reviews first that drop, right? And then if the reviews are, mostly positive, I will probably get this and jump on it. And then I'm sure a bunch of people will jump and be like, what house did you get into? All right, let's play this game real quick. Do you guys know the houses for Harry Potter?
No, at first I thought you were legit talking about a house, so no.
What about you, Ricky? Are you a Harry Potter fan?
I was you're gonna hate me for this, but I have
Oh, we're on the same boat.
Harry Potter.
yeah, I have no clue what he's talking about.
I have people around me all the time that love Harry Potter. I'm just like,
same.
About that.
Oh,
I mean, I hang out with this dork all the time, and he talks about it. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't know.
You guys are awful. Well, we all know Chazzy here. Actually, Chazzy's in the chat right now. What school would Chazzy be? Would he be in Gryffindor, Slytherin, Hufflepuff, or Ravenclaw? Don't say anything, Chazzy. You can't say nothing.
All this talk about houses and schools, like, I don't know, what are we doing? Building a community? Like, what are we doing? You know what I mean?
You would be a Hufflepuff, Kelvin. You'd be a Hufflepuff.
What is that?
It's like the worst one. It's the worst one. You don't want to be a Hufflepuff. Hufflepuff, sorry. I said Hufflepuff.
All right, let's move on. Enough about this Harry Potter shit.
There you go. Something more.
Again, that's another thing where I'm like, I'm not a huge... So I forget this is a podcast. This is an audio podcast too. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the next one on this. I'm over here just like, So Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the next one. It's coming out March 17th, pretty relatively soon. I'm not a Star Wars fan. I'll be honest. I don't know. Ricky, what about you?
I'm a Star Wars fan to a certain extent, bro. I'm not gonna lie with you, because I know to a certain extent, and then once all these new characters start popping out, I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I hear you. I just had a major deja vu for some reason. Wild, nice. Like literally just wild. It's crazy how that happens.
You've played Star Wars before, right? That's probably why you probably saw this game. You have played the new one, right? Like the newer one, the new one.
No, it's free on somewhere, right? It's free on Game Pass, I think.
I think it's free on Game Pass, and
Yeah,
I think on
I
PlayStation.
played it at my friend's house. Like I don't
Yeah.
physically own it, but I did play in it. I was watching him play it.
It's good.
It's
It's
really good. Yeah.
Cool. Nice.
All right, so that's
What's
a fun one. Next one is. Ooh, I can't wait for this one.
Oh, we got something out of Ricky here. Ricky, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm gonna get this for sure.
Yeah.
It's a day one,
you
right? This
you
is
played
day
the
one.
original?
Yeah, I played the original, and I like the Resident Evil games.
Hell yeah. Yeah, this is one of those where it's just a must grab. Like it's just like, yeah, I'm not like excited for it. I'm just gonna grab it because it's Resident Evil 4. It's one of the best games that came out during that time. And so it's gonna be fun to just kind of go back and revisit, So
Yeah,
I'm excited for this one. I'm not excited. I'm just like I'm ready to play this game.
yeah.
I
I
will
do
say-
feel like Resident Evil saved their games because I feel like they were dying
yeah.
out, and
Yeah.
then out of nowhere they just like started becoming like really good games.
They've knocked it out of the park with the remakes. I think they did a really good job with remake of 2, 3. There's mixed because it was too action packed or whatever, but obviously 4, amazing. Resident Evil Village was fantastic. I think that's what really got people back in.
Village was great. Village was great. Yeah, I agree.
Is that the one that you're like in that like house or whatever? It's like a
No, that's
which was-
Biohazard.
That's 7. Yeah.
okay. So that's the one I remember the most because that one was scary.
I heard that one's
Yeah.
very scary. It's
Yeah.
probably, I think it's the scariest Resident
I
Evil.
have it downloaded on my PS. I think on Steam Deck and on my PS5, and I just haven't tried it yet.
You got that bundle, that humble
Yeah.
bundle deal where it gave you like
Oh, that
all
one.
of the Resident Evils, right? For like
Yeah,
$10
for
or
like
something.
$10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have it. I just haven't played it yet. That's another game I'm interested to play, but we'll see. Again, where are we halfway through and March
We're almost there,
24th?
Yeah.
And so this is Q1 of this year. It's already stacked. So I'm excited. What else we got?
Yes.
Oh, let's go, buddy. Let's go. I know this is a very niche, like,
Kelvin pick.
like
This is a Kelvin
yeah,
pick.
but this is definitely a Kelvin pick right here. Mega Man Battle Network and Legacy Collections coming out April 14th, and I am super stoked for this. I played the original one back in the Game Boy Advance era, and I had a blast. I don't know if I beat it or not, which is why I'm even more excited to play this. But if you're telling me you're getting like, I think it's like they added some online components to it. It looks better, obviously. I'm just very confused and very like, I'm not sure where I want to play this. Do I want to play it on my Switch or do I want to play on my Steam Deck? Rob, we had this conversation. You said Steam Deck? No, you said Switch, right?
Yeah, I feel like you feel more at home with Switch.
Yeah, and I think the colors will pop much better on the Switch. So I'm playing Crisis Core on my Steam Deck, so I think that's fine. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I don't know about you guys. Rob, are you like, does this do anything for you? Because I remember you bought this too, didn't you? Back in the day?
The games were they were very great. They were very enjoyable. They kind of did the Pokemon thing where they would release 2 versions of the game at the same time. I forget the name of the game, of the versions that came out, but yeah, it was definitely a cool game. I really enjoyed the battle style, the way that you were kind of like in the real world and then you went into the digital world where Mega Man lived. And the story's great too. So
yeah,
I wish these kind of made like a comeback, and these are this is a fantastic series.
Capcom, man, they need to do their due diligence with the Mega Man series. Take It Easy Jono says, man, they need to come out with a new open world style Mega Man game like Mega Man Legends. That shit was sweet. Yes, dude. I talked about this. Was it, I think, on Chazzy's episode where we were on Chazzy's episode regarding the NCU, and I mentioned the Mega Man series as a whole, but I mentioned Mega Man Legends. That would be my shit, dude. I would love for new Mega Man Legends to come out. Give me a remake. Give me something of Mega Man Legends. It's like, again, Ricky, if you haven't played or seen that game, it's an open world Mega Man game in a sense. And it was back in the PS1 days, I think. And man, it looks rough now, but it was such a gem back in the day, dude. It was so good.
It was very good. It was. They need to do it again. They do really need to come.
100%.
Yeah, I never played that one. I think for a Mega Man game, I think they really deserve something big. Like that's kind of like most of our childhood games in a way, or teenager games, I guess you could say. but they really need to like bring it back and like kind of do like
Revamp
an
it.
open world game or something.
Yeah, man. I'll be so pumped for that, dude.
It would do well. It
Capcom,
would do well.
Capcom can do it for sure, man. Excuse me. Capcom has been on the running back. You know, they've been coming back with some sweet games. They've been coming back with like, I remember back in like the Resident Evil 5 era type, like they were just like tanking. You know what I mean? Now they're coming back up, like you guys said, with the Resident Evils, and they have like the Monster Hunter and all this stuff that are actually like doing well for them. This could be a comeback for Mega Man at some point. You know, maybe this year. You never know. But I'm excited.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to
Of course, Legend of
the
Zelda.
most anticipated game of the
Tears
year.
of the Kingdom coming out May 17th. 12 is it? Is that 12 or
12,
17?
12, yeah, 12.
Sorry. Yeah, Rob. I not the biggest Zelda fan, obviously, as you guys know. Ricky, what about you? Are you a Zelda fan? What do you think about this?
Most of you guys are gonna hate me, but I'm not the biggest fan. But I did choose them when it came to Smash Brothers.
Ah,
All right,
so
all
you're
right.
Zelda.
So,
Oh, you're
I
a
mean,
Link.
Yeah,
Link Bane. Okay, I see you.
yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm not that like this is one of those games like Resident Evil 4 remake for me, where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get. I'll buy it. I'm not excited.
Y'all
I'll
are
just buy it.
crazy, man. This is some of the like Zelda series is some of the best in gaming, and you're just over here like it's okay, it's fine,
It's fine, dude. Like it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just like I'll get it. You know, I'll try it out. I'll play it.
Yeah, this game I think has a tough task because it has to follow up to probably one of the greatest games of all time. So it's gonna be compared to like I kind of feel bad for this game because of what it has going up against it right now.
for
So there is a tiny slight chance that people can get disappointed, you know?
I don't think so. I think this is
okay.
gonna destroy sales, destroy critics. Like it's gonna be like Metacritic. It's gonna do phenomenal.
You think it's gonna be kind of like the same as like kind of like God of War to God of War Ragnarok, kind of like that, where it's just gonna be?
Yeah, I think graphic fidelity wise, I don't think it's gonna do anything crazy. I think it's gonna be much more or less the same as the original. But scope, I think it'll be a tad bit better. But I don't know. I don't know what they can do better to make this that much more
Story
excited.
could be like
story could be a little
like
bit
the
more
boss fights could
fleshed
be
out.
a little more. There's a couple things they could do, but this is day one for me, and this is when they're gonna announce the new Switch 2. It's when
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what
I'm
All right, what's next? What's next here? Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, coming out May 26th. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I was kind of excited. When did we see this? We saw this. The latest one, I think, was it.
It was at what was Game Awards? Game Awards.
Was it Game Awards? Okay,
It's
so
Game
it was
Awards,
relatively
yes,
soon.
yes.
That was what really got me somewhat excited for this because it did show more. No gameplay. We still don't have any gameplay on this game, which is wild. I mean, I think they did show gameplay at some point, but
Very, very
most of the
small,
stuff, most of the stuff that we've seen is just kind of just cutscenes. Yeah, I'm just I'll see more. I'll wait to see more and see what happens. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about this. What do you guys think?
I mean, the movie's great.
Yeah,
So I hope. Yeah, I hope the game is good too. I mean, I could see something in this, but like you said, I need to check it out and like see more into it.
Yeah.
Side note here, I think a lot of the superhero games are doing well right now compared to, I guess, like way back then. I remember super games were awful.
Are you saying they're doing well because of Spider-Man or in general?
In general, I think the quality of them has gone up. You look at Square Enix Guardians of the Galaxy that came out, very good. You look at the Avengers game that came out. Granted, it wasn't like the best game ever, but it was serviceable and people had fun with it.
Right.
You obviously Spider-Man. You have the Batman Arkham games. You have Wolverine is going to come out, right? So Midnight Suns came out, and people love that.
Did well.
Actually
Yeah,
did
did
really
well.
well. So I think moving forward, I think superhero games are going to do okay. I think we're at that point now where it's just like, hey, don't make it like the movie, but get it like kind of close and kind of make its own story, but make it like cool and theatrical, and that's what they're doing here. So.
Yeah. When are we gonna get the Superman game though? You know what I mean? Can it ever be done? Can a Superman game ever be like, I wouldn't say perfect, but at least playable and praised for what it is,
and enjoyable too.
and enjoyable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They'd have to start as Superman super young or something, and he's just getting to learn his powers. So at first you can't fly. You can't fly. You can't use your laser beams. You get those things as you progress through the story or hit certain things that happen.
Yeah.
That's the only way they can do it. And then by the end, you're you're God. You can do whatever you want. But they can't start the game with him having all these abilities. You have to start very slow and you upgrade them. That's the only way they can do a Superman game.
Yeah, I like that idea. I like that concept.
I agree.
We'll see, man. We'll see if it'll ever happen. I don't know who would ever take that like leap of faith. You know what I mean? But we'll see. Street Fighter 6, man.
Yeah,
And this is shit though. Like, I'm not a huge fighting fan. Like, I'm not a huge fighting game fan. But they're doing everything right with this game. They're doing, like, as far as the gameplay looks, as far as the art style, as far as just, they're selling it to me, man. They're selling it to me. I'm getting this day one. Even if I don't play it, I'm just getting it. I'm just like, I just want to play. I just want to try it out.
Yeah.
This game oozes style. Like, it just looks so good. So good. And that's the same way, like, because of how good it looks and the way it plays, I want to play it. And I'm not a big, fighting fan either.
So let me ask you, both you guys, this question. Are you the type of Street Fighter like player that presses every button and hope to get lucky?
Oh, like a
1000%.
button?
Yeah, or you know what you're doing.
No, I have no clue what I'm doing. The only game I know what I'm doing that's a fighting game is Super Smash Brothers. And the best thing about this game here is that they have a option to play like a Super Smash Brothers.
Wait,
so
really?
you can, yes, 100%. So you can switch your game, you can switch your control so that you can do like tilt A and then do some certain attacks like that, as opposed to like the original Street Fighter moves, which is why I'm hyped for this as well.
I love that. And that's for all platforms. Like, it's not just like Switch or whatever. No.
It's not like a Switch like exclusive thing. It's like a different type of
interesting
control style, I guess you could say.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that
so
much.
I'm absolutely all in for this. June 2nd. Let's freaking go.
People are asking Mortal Kombat or Street Fighters. I'm gonna go and say I haven't played a lot of Street Fighters. I've played more Mortal Kombat. I like both the same. I think there's but if I had to pick, maybe probably Mortal Kombat a little more. It's because they have crazy attacks and the fatalities are sick.
Yeah, same. Mortal Kombat for me too.
Yeah.
What about you, Ricky?
I'm gonna have to, because those fatalities are something else.
They're
bro.
pretty nuts. Yeah, they're
so
yeah. All right. Next game here. Diablo 4.
That's all you, Rob. I don't know what the fuck this is. That's all you.
Yeah, I mean, it's Diablo, right? Diablo 3, people love Diablo 3. I think Diablo 4, people are afraid of like the massive amounts of microtransaction, but it's a Blizzard game. It's going to do well no matter what. And if you are a Diablo fan, you should be excited for this one. So that's all I got to say about that. Next one is... I think it's the last one on the list too. I think we're done after this.
Yes, we're done after this. Final Fantasy 16, baby. I am super stoked for this. Rob, I know you're super stoked for this. It's one of those games where like you're just waiting. I don't know. It's one of those games where like you don't need any more trailers. Like, I'm done with the trailers. Stop showing me what this game looks like. I just want it in my hands. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It needs to come out already. I wanted to come out like next week.
Yeah.
I don't want to wait till June.
This is. Do you think it's gonna get delayed?
No.
At this point, I don't think so. Right? No.
No.
The train has started already with the hype train. So they're going full-fledged. Just marketing this game. So we're all set now. That's definitely not gonna get delayed. So yeah, that was it. So I hope you guys had a good time with that. Guys, let's get into the meats of this. I don't like that. I don't like that word. Let me change that up. Let's get into the main topic of this. Ricky, of course. Ricky is our guest for this week.
Ricky is the meat. Ricky's the meat
of this episode here. Let's go into M Game chat. Ricky, You're a Twitch streamer, a
Yep.
videographer. But who is Ricky? Who are you? We want to dive into who you are as a person, how you started Twitch streaming, how you started videography. But first, I guess one of my first questions for you is, how did you start videography? Like, what was your passion for that?
Yeah.
To be honest, I was always that one person with the holding the camera around my friends.
Mm,
I will always get making fun of because I'm over here recording on the side. But I was always that one kid with the camera, like recording, memories or whatever it went to. So I always had a camera with me, until phones
right.
came out and then it started upgrading from there.
What was your first camera? Do you remember what kind of camera you would use?
Um, so I didn't really have a lot of money. So when I got a little bit of money, I bought the Sony 6000, the Ace.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, did you have like a little disposable camera, like the little like?
Oh, I never had that one, but I did have like one of the first GoPros that came out.
Oh,
So
cool. Very
I'll
cool.
carry that around in my pocket, and just pop it out whenever I can.
So you were kind of like the behind the stage kind of guy. Like you were kind of like more of the quieter guy, where you just like recorded everybody doing whatever they were doing, and just kind of had everyone's like memories on deck, right? Like you had everyone's like coolest moments, where you had like all these cool stuff that people have done. Like that was you.
Yeah, it was definitely me, but like I always like being in front of the camera too.
Oh,
So,
okay, okay,
so I was always like recording or be like, "Oh, here, you record this," and I'm over here doing stuff.
dope.
So it was kind of a little bit of both.
Yeah,
Nice.
you're the friend that every friend group wished they had to be the camera person.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
like growing up, it was like people were like, "Oh, like stop taking videos," and now you're like, "Man, I wish we had
Hey, yo,
someone
record
because
this."
now we have to pay
Yeah.
someone to do it." You know?
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So you I guess I'll kind of get into this too. You're currently obviously the official videographer for Anime Pasadena 2022, and obviously you work with Chazzy from the Side Project podcast with like his events and a bunch of other projects that he's working on as well, which is dope as hell. What? How did you get to that point? Like, what led you to that passion? What led you to being the official videographer for Anime Pasadena? Like that has to be some accomplishment that you were like amazed that you received, like that's like something
Yeah.
that you were like excited to have, right?
I mean, it's kind of weird because like, okay, I got the gig and like I'm named this person now, but I'm just like, I'm not there yet. Like I still need a lot to like show and like give to everybody else because I know I'm barely getting started. Like
That's
somebody
awesome.
opened the door for me, so now I'm like, okay, now it's game time.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah. So like, it's weird how I'm feeling right now. Like, yeah, it's cool. Like I'm named this, but like I'm not there yet. I still have a lot to work on.
I hear
But
you. I hear you.
other than that, it just happened one day after another, man. I was just, I always been filming, like my small promo videos and stuff like that. Like I love like shooting like non-dialogue like videos. So it's just me like doing a simple run and just, getting different angles and getting like cool shots, like drone shots. I love flying drones and, it just, Chaz was always following me on Instagram and, one thing led to another and, he got an opportunity and that opportunity became something bigger than we expected. And it just started opening the doors like that.
So that was one of my questions, and sorry, Robert, cut you off real quick. But how did you meet Chazzy? Because I met Chazzy, we met Chazzy, and then from Chazzy we met you. So how did you guys meet?
It's so weird, man, how we met. Because okay, so it goes way back when when Mixer was on. Mixer, the streaming service.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was a Mixer streamer, and I had a good amount of followers. I was rolling the ball already. And then when the Mixer shut down, one day after another, I just had to switch over to Twitch. So Chazzy was doing a podcast of trying to, interview somebody that used to be a Mixer and, dealing with that whole transition. So, and then I popped up. So when I popped up, we met, we did the whole, podcast or whatever. And, it ended there, like nothing went about that. So I just kept doing my thing and, he never stopped like unfollowing me or like stopped looking at my stuff that I used to post. And you know, when he got the opportunity, he needs a videographer. You know, he thought of me, and I really appreciate that. You know?
And this is you the entire time it's playing in this video, right? You're the one recording this.
Yeah, I'm recording the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not easy. It's not easy work. Like people behind the scenes sometimes don't get enough credit because you're just there the whole time on your feet and moving around and getting the right angle and just like making sure you're like kind of like out of the way. Like it's not an easy job, and it is. I'm sure by the end of the day you're just like exhausted. Like you're just done.
Oh man, like my hand is like hurting the next day, you know, from
Yeah.
holding the camera because I gotta hold it still, and you know, like
You're doing a phenomenal job right here, dude.
I appreciate
you're holding
it.
it
I
still
really
right here,
appreciate
dude.
it.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
You're
that's just
capturing
me
this,
without a
this man's mug,
stabilizer,
you know
just
what I mean?
holding it like that, you know, like
Jeez,
I gotta do
dude.
my thing, you know. I was like, I don't want Chazzy to fire me already.
Yeah. And the thing is too, man, it's not just the work is there, right? It's not like you're just recording and it's done. It's like you then have to process everything and put it on the web and do the editing and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
and that takes a lot of time, and you got to make sure everything's right, or else you can't reshoot it. If it's messed up and it's done, because it's very it's hard work and it's very,
you
like,
wear a lot of
scary work.
hats.
Yeah.
You wear a lot
Yeah.
of hats when you're a videographer, which you know,
Yeah,
we
exactly.
obviously
And
a lot
I'm-
of people appreciate your work that you do,
Yeah,
not just for
and I really
Chazzy, but like for
appreciate that.
in general. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody that appreciates me, because
Yeah,
it
for
is hard work. Because I'm carrying a backpack with other equipment on it, like it's heavy, So
You got to know
Now-
your shit too, you know.
yeah, exactly. And funny story is my first time shooting something similar like this. I never done anything in this ball game, so I mean, I
Even
guess I was
like
meant to
that,
be.
but even that switch that you just did, right? Like where
Mhm.
to the transition that you just did, where you just like brought your camera down and then you brought it up to like transition over to a different. Like I know that's like post processing, but like you must have done that drop of your camera to like make a transition at some point for post editing, I assume.
Yeah, like I try my best because the way I work, I try my best to like shoot the video the right way. So when it comes to editing, it's just like a plug and play type of thing. Because if you don't do that, then that's when the effects come in and transition come in, and it doesn't look like professional, you could say, like for
Right.
me in my eyes. So I try to like try my best to like when I end the video, I end it a certain way, pan out a certain way. So that's what I tried to do.
Yeah, and I think you did a good job of capturing the perspective of being right there. Like I feel like when watching this that I'm just literally behind the lens looking at, all this
Right.
happening. So and that's the best you can ask for, right? Like if the person watching the video, you want them to feel like they're actually there and experiencing these things or having a first person view on or perspective on this. So
Yeah,
good job,
of
man, on this.
course,
Seriously,
yeah.
this is amazing.
Yeah,
Appreciate
man.
it.
And
Thank
I know you're humbling yourself a little bit here with the title of the official videographer for Anime Pasadena 2022. But you've also recently worked on footage from last year's Anime Pasadena back in that was November, right? That was November that happened.
Yeah, so I just got on this year. So in that the other I think it was November that happened.
Okay.
So you're talking about Pasadena, right?
Pasadena, yeah. So for
Pasadena,
those
yeah,
that
yeah.
don't know what Anime Pasadena is, what is Anime Pasadena? What is
So
that? Because some people from like our end over here probably don't know what that is.
Don't know, yeah.
So Anime Pasadena is pretty much like a big convention where they invite different, big anime, people just like
Cosplayers.
Naruto cosplayers, they get everybody together and they do a big event. So that's what Anime Pasadena is.
Is it similar to a Comic-Con, I guess you would say? Like not 100%, but in that there's more cosplay being done like towards anime, but would you say it's like an anime style Comic-Con in a sense?
Like a subgroup of Comic-Con, is it?
Yeah, to be honest, we went to what's that? We went to where did we go? LA Comic-Con. So we went to LA Comic-Con, and to be honest, it wasn't nothing like different. They're both the same. They're in the same topic. I felt the whole energy was the same. The cosplays and everything.
Yeah,
everything was the same.
Okay.
So, Yeah, man. As far as the equipment you use, let's dig into that, like specifically with this. What did you use to shoot this? You know, what you don't have to go into super details as to like exact, but what are the couple things that you need to hit a day like this, and like what equipment you can't be without? You know.
So, I mean, to be honest, not to be cocky or anything, as long as I have a camera, I could just do my thing. You know,
Nice.
like I personally own a Sony A7 II,
Okay.
which is like the older model. It's not even 4K, and I feel like I do a better job than people who have like 4K cameras.
That's the
Yep.
thing is like people feel like they always need like the latest and greatest like cameras and or 4K
Yeah.
or whatever, and like you don't need that. You just need to be you need the eye, right?
Skilled,
Like that's yeah, you just need skill and you'll be able to
Yeah,
make that look good.
yeah, exactly. I just feel like you need the eye, like you said, and like if I have a camera, like I'm gonna make it happen. You know,
That's
just give me
it.
a couple seconds just to figure out whatever buttons or whatever special features you have, and then I'll make it happen.
Yep. For sure. For
What
sure.
was I gonna tell you? Do you know what my first camera was?
Tell me.
Nexo.
It was no, it was a T-Mobile flip phone,
That was
but
close.
you had to buy the camera separately.
The attachment.
It was a little camera attachment, and you had to put the camera on the bottom of the phone, and
Yeah.
it was I want to say it was like a 1.5 or 2 megapixel camera
Yeah.
on it, and that was the first camera I ever had, like real camera I ever
Camera.
had.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
it's funny that
crazy,
like
dude.
how far you come. So yeah, you could record on that too, right? You'd be able to make that work. You know?
Yeah, you
I
make it
hope
happen.
so. I hope so.
Oh man.
So talk about if you can. This might be a little what's the word I'm looking for? Touchy subject.
Mhm.
But if you can talk about these things, please do. As far as Anime Fire, I know you guys are working on things with Anime Fire. What can you talk about? What's Anime Fire and what projects are you working on within Anime Fire?
So Anime Fire is pretty much a new, we could say, combined. That's gonna combine with all the anime Pasadena, everything that's gonna go on. So it's just pretty much a new media production company that's founded pretty much by Colin K. Bass. You can follow him, and
Yep.
he's part of Nerdbot Studios. So
Awesome.
he's a part of the Power Rangers extended universe,
Mhm.
and he also, they're gonna include a live action anime series and celebrity interviews, which Chaz is gonna be a part of.
Dope.
And hopefully, if everything rolls out the way they want to, I'm gonna be a part of holding the camera behind the scenes.
Awesome, man. So you have a lot of things your way. You don't know. Do you have a time frame? You don't know what dates or anything like that as far as that goes, but that's coming soon. I assume that's coming at some point this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be rolling out pretty quick. I feel like one day after another, but they're gonna be like, "All right, let's go. We're rolling."
Let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
So I'm just waiting for that moment. Like I'm ready whenever they make that phone call.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, man, you guys are doing great things, man. You guys are killing over there, and I talk to Chazzy all the time, and he really appreciates the work that you do, and he obviously is very passionate about what he does, and he wants to make things the best he could possibly do with the production and all that stuff. And I think you guys just go hand in hand with how you guys work together, and the things that you guys are putting out is extraordinary. So I'm really happy for you guys, and just keep killing it, man. You guys are doing great things.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate everything that you guys are looking at. All the everything that you guys are telling us. Is a big help to us because it's gonna push us forward to do better things.
Yeah,
100%,
definitely.
man.
It's the community here. That's what we
Yeah.
strive to do at the Game Duo podcast, right?
Exactly.
man.
Yep.
In the background, I know for our audio listeners, they can't see this, but I am playing a little bit of an intro or teaser to Anime Fire. It's just basically saying that we're
It's
coming
happening.
out with something hot. See what I
Yeah.
did there? Did it fun? Anime
Yep.
Fire.
Dope.
So-
I know we talked a lot about your videography side, Rob, and
Mhm.
before we move on, if you want to move on to anything different, but I've seen you use drones in some of the videos. Can you explain how do you use those drones? What kind of drone do you have? Like what made you use drones? Like just tell us about the drones aspect to it, because I think it's pretty dope when people incorporate their drones with their videography.
All right, so first I got into drones because I had a feeling that drone footage was gonna be like the new thing.
Yep. Yep.
Like I'm not sure if you guys seen the movie Ambulance.
No, I haven't seen that one.
No.
Okay, if you guys look at the movie Ambulance, they started using FPV drones, which is you put on some goggles, you start doing flips or whatever you have to do. But that movie Ambulance started using drones, and that's probably the first movie that I've seen that started putting drone footage inside their movies.
Okay.
So that's one of the big main reasons I started getting into drones, because I wanted to learn it before it started to
else.
become mainstream or whatever you could say.
Mhm.
So I always like gadgets and like start like messing around with stuff. So yeah, I used to have like a remote control car. I used to throw it off, little ramps I used to build. So I used to always, like learning new gadgets. So when it came to drones, I was like, I need to get in the drone game to have that a part of my my filming stuff.
Nice.
So because with the drone, you could get like angles that you can't really get with a regular camera,
Right.
and that's what I wanted to do. I hate being so limited when I'm like filming.
Nice.
Very
nice.
cool. It's like we're living
But
in the future, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the drones I use a DJI Mini 2,
Okay.
and then I have a FPV drone as well.
Nice.
A DJI FPV drone.
So about the drones, I actually did a little research a while back about drones, and there's quite a bit of there's a lot to them, right? You have to learn how to use it, and it's not a simple thing to do. You can't just like pick it up and use it. Like there's some finesse involved with the controlling and stuff like that, and you gotta be careful because. And it's also like disorienting, right? You're like literally like I'm literally in the sky, like flying around.
Exactly,
It's weird. But if you're talking to someone who's trying to get into it, right? Like, what would you recommend as far as starting out with a drone? What brand do you recommend? I know you said DJI is a good one with the minis, but where would you start? If you were to get into it.
If I'm talking to a friend that's really gonna get into it, I will recommend the DJI minis, whatever minis, like the mini 1, 2, or 3.
Where we can get hands on at that point.
Yeah, because those small drones are the probably easiest drones that you can fly without restrictions.
Okay.
So like I'll go that mini route. There's no doubt.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I've heard. And then to graduate up, they get incrementally more expensive. They get pricey.
And that's another thing too. Like you can't spend too much money on a drone if you're gonna go ahead and crash it to a building, and then you lost like $1,000, let's say. And if you get a mini, like a DJI mini, they vary from like 400 to
600. I think
$600. So yeah, but even then, that's a lot of money for a certain amount of people. So. Yeah, because
one last question about the drones, unless you have something, Kelv. But do you have to purchase the camera separate? Like I know some of them you can put like a GoPro or something on that, or do they all come with a camera integrated within the drone, or you have to attach a camera yourself?
That's a good question.
Use that camera.
So most drones come with the camera, unless you're building a custom drone. Then you're gonna have to attach like a camera to it. So a lot of people build like custom like FPV drones. So that's the thing that's going around right now. So that's why those people build in like they put in like a GoPro, let's say.
Okay. Very cool.
Juan Ramos in the comments, shout out to Juan. He says, I think Beauty and the Beast live action drones use drones on their opening scene, which is pretty interesting. I didn't know that.
I did not know that either. So
cool. So let's move on a little bit from your actual like videography side of things, right? Before we do though, Anime Fire, you could follow them at where? At Anime Fire Official, and then Anime Pasadena at Anime Pasadena if you guys are interested in checking them out for sure. As far as your streaming side goes, Ricky, how did that start? Because I know you mentioned that you were part of Mixer, right? You were doing the mixing thing, and then that's a Microsoft. Is that a Microsoft brand?
Yeah,
right?
I think Microsoft.
I think so. Yeah. I think
and
they
That's
opened
they
it up.
canned
Ninja
that. I
was too,
remember.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, they bought Ninja to try to make it like compete with like
Popping,
YouTube
yeah.
and Twitch. Yeah.
yeah. I remember riding the bus when I was in high school and reading the news saying that Mixer is no more after like
What?
I feel they stopped doing Mixer, like they just completely like
In
canned
high
Mixer.
school?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't in high school when they stopped it,
Yeah,
right?
No,
I
well,
remember I was riding the bus.
And then they brought it back, right? Is that what we're
They
talking
must have
about?
brought it back at some point. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that's
But
when
I
they
know
signed Ninja, right? It was like it was
that's when they
like
signed Ninja. It was like
yeah.
on and off. I don't know, but I
yeah.
remember that news. I was like, yeah, that's terrible. But yeah, man.
I mean, back then I used to have a camera, so I would record my gameplay, like, so for I could upload it on YouTube. So I was like, like the quality wasn't good, and like like I was like, I gotta stop doing this and start doing it live. So I got a Elgato, like the little
Yep.
Elgato, yeah, connection, and
Mhm.
my brother
The
had like
capture
a
card?
Mac, yeah, the capture card.
Yeah, yeah.
So my brother had a Mac, like an older Mac, and then I tried connecting all the cables. I was like, oh, I'm a stream live. I'm a stream live. So I started connecting all the cables, and then I pressed to go live, and like my footage is just like boom, boom, all choppy.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah.
it just lags. I'm like, okay, this is not like the easiest way to do it. So I never had the money to even invest in a PC or anything like that.
Mhm.
So I mean, I was always into like gaming, and like I wanted to do it live, but I never had the funds to do it. And it was so hard back then. I felt like it was really hard to go live back then.
It was what we have now, like literally we have this software that we're using for the podcast, right? It's called StreamYards.
StreamYards.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's your advertisement, StreamYards, just for us,
Yep.
There you go. But yeah, we use that, and we obviously pay money, but it's super easy. You go on the website and you're there. You have everything available. Now for games, it's a little wonky sometimes, but
Yeah.
but it's so accessible now. You're 100% right. Back then, you need a high performing PC, you need a good TV, you need this, you need that. It's just
Yeah. It's ongoing.
Yeah,
For
it was
sure.
a hassle back then. So I felt like back then it was somewhat impossible if you didn't have the money for it.
You would say the juice wasn't worth the squeeze back then,
Yeah, exactly. And
Facts.
like me, I was like, I didn't have the funds for it. But
So-
little
Yeah.
by little, I started getting the funds, and like I started learning. Obviously on YouTube, I started searching up more videos, and little by little, I started building my PC, and I pretty much built my PC for an investment, because I was like, I'm a stream, and I'm gonna make wherever I gotta make. I gotta make my money back. If I'm gonna spend that much money on a PC, I gotta make my money back. So I
Yep,
told
yep.
myself, I'm gonna build my PC. I'm gonna stream. I'm gonna edit my videos. I gotta do schoolwork on it. I gotta do what I gotta do. So that's why I started streaming. I guess you could say full time, and at
Okay.
the same time, I was doing all my other stuff. So
Yeah, man.
honestly, I think a PC is like one of the best things you can purchase. Even like if you have the choice between a console and a PC, I would say go PC, because
100%.
you can do so much more on a PC.
Yeah.
You can do anything on this thing.
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like if everybody could get like their hands on PC, in my opinion, the consoles will like be no more.
Yeah.
I feel like it'll get to that point that consoles are just another thing.
Yeah, I
I
mean, if you
mean-
think about it. Sorry, go.
No, I was just gonna say, like, in a matter of what, maybe let's say 10 years, PC gaming has gone leaps and bounds, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I remember going to the store at like Best Buy or something, seeing all these like PC games that like no one would buy, like Civilization or whatever, I don't know. And then like now it's just like everyone has a PC for the most part, and everyone mostly plays on PC or has some type of way to access PC gaming. Like now it's a
Yeah.
completely different story. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, PC gaming has gone a long way, and now we're actually playing consoles that are very similar to PC, right? A lot of the parts that consoles have are essentially mini PCs. So, I mean, PC is the future, I guess.
Yeah, I really do see PC being the future. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
little
Those
kids
little-
are getting their hands on PCs. Like they're like begging their parents to buy them a PC. So-
Yeah.
Now, what
parents.
games do you play? Obviously, you're playing Apex here on the live feed here,
Yeah.
but what other games do you play? What do you stream?
So I was streaming. So I was streaming whatever games was I guess you could say trending, but like that I really like. I wasn't gonna choose a game that I didn't like and I couldn't, enjoy it while streaming. So
Right.
I started streaming Apex. I used to stream Overwatch as well.
Mm.
I used to stream. Well, I still stream. What's that game? Grounded. Have you heard about Grounded?
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
heard about Grind. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I played Grounded before, and what's that other game? That survival game. It's a zombie survival game. I'm about to pop on my.
Dead Island. I know Dead Island. No, not Dead Island.
No,
Left 4 Dead.
no, not Left 4. Oh, I did play the
Dying Light?
new. I know Dying Light. I was streaming Dying Light for quite a bit. I'm about to pop on my stream. I mean my.
Go for it.
Yeah, I think I could actually look it up right now. But
No,
yeah,
so
I know
I was
you're not
playing
streaming.
Daisy. Daisy.
Daisy.
Yeah,
Ah,
Daisy. There we go. Sorry about.
old school. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was streaming Daisy for quite a bit, and I got really into Daisy that I'll spend hours on streaming. I was like, okay, I gotta stop now.
Some would
Okay.
say that's the original battle royale, right? That's where battle royale kind of started. Was it Daisy?
I don't know if it's.
I'm not sure to be
I think
honest,
PUBG
but
was kind of like the original.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
those, yeah, I guess. Interesting.
I mean, Daisy. If you guys ever get into it or have played Daisy, it's a pretty competitive game, and
Is
it could
it?
get really annoying really quick.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez, that's not my type of game.
Yeah,
You got
so it's the type of game that if you like get all your stuff and you loot up, and if they kill you, you start all over. So
Yeah,
it's
for
that
sure,
type
for
of
sure.
game, man.
What
gonna say something, Rob?
I was gonna
Yeah.
say we're
Yeah.
talking about you like playing Daisy, you like playing Apex, but if you had to pick a game or a franchise that was your favorite, what is it? Like your favorite game of all time? I would say
I must say,
anything. It could be an
um,
old PlayStation 2 game. It could be, Barney's
well,
Playhouse.
I love the classics. Like Smash Brothers and all those stuff. I love the classics. But if I really had to choose, like, it's either has to be I don't know. I think I just love Apex, man.
Apex is a
Yeah,
good game.
Apex. It has to be it.
Out of all the battle royales, I think it's the best one. I think it's the most well-rounded. Like I said, I wish me and Kelvin were good at this game, but we fucking suck at this game. So.
Yeah, we're fucking terrible, dude. And I'm more worse than Rob, so it's just bad. I don't
that's
ever
like-
carry the team.
I feel like I could play competitive in Apex, but I just don't have that team.
Well, Kel,
Yeah,
we
don't
gotta step
come
up.
to us, bro.
Yeah,
Don't
so-
come to us, 'cause we'll bring you
so-
down, bro.
So if anybody's watching that plays Apex, let me know.
I don't take
yeah.
it easy. Jono does. So
Yeah,
talk
he
to
plays a
talk to
lot.
take it easy. There, he definitely plays.
Yeah, I heard he's like really good too. So
Yeah, he's top 10. I
That's
think.
it.
he
I'm gonna
said.
go with Hello
Yeah.
Kitty.
top
Love it.
top
I knew it. I always knew it.
Of course, Chazzy, of course. So I didn't know you actually did streaming full time. Essentially,
Yeah.
right, is what you said, right? Do you find it hard as a streamer? I think streamers have like not a bad rep, but they always have like this thing of like, oh, you guys stream so much and you guys complain about like your life or whatever, but you're just playing games all the time, right? Do you ever feel like streaming takes a lot of like, is it exhausting for you? Like, is it something that like by the end of a stream you're like, man, like I don't know if I can keep doing this. Like this is a lot of work.
I mean, I never felt exhausted after doing it. I guess because I always made sure I worked out before, like streaming or after streaming.
get,
So
a
I
pump,
always-
get a sick pump before.
Yeah. Like I always like kept my mind like off being like that tiredness. I guess
Yeah.
you could say. But I feel like if you're like streaming and you're yourself and you're like being yourself, like it shouldn't be that bad. Because a lot of
That's how I
people
take
try,
it.
a lot of people try to like act different when the camera turns on.
Right,
And then
right.
that's what it gets exhausting, Like if
Yeah,
you're
you're trying to be
being
different. You're
being
acting.
fake,
You're acting at that point.
100%.
So-
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Chazzy had a great question here. Does it take any fun out of playing games in general for you? Like, do you feel like playing Apex for, a good amount of time? I don't know how long you stream, but like, let's say 4 or 5 hours. Does that take the fun out of playing Apex? Cause you're, in front of a camera, you're kind of talking to chat. Like, does that take the fun out of it?
To be honest, I really don't think so. I got used to being in front of the camera, especially when it comes to streaming. I actually like engaging like with the chat whenever I'm
Yeah.
playing like whenever there's like downtime, let's say we're inside a building and there's nothing going on, then I'm like looking over,
Right.
think
So
so.
it keeps me going. I don't. It doesn't take any fun out of the game, at least for me.
Right. Nice.
The way I could like picture it, because I don't really stream either, but
Yeah.
I'd imagine it's something where when you were a kid back in the day and you were over your friend's house and you were all playing a game, you were watching your friend play the game, and it's like kind of like that in the sense where you have like your friends kind of like watching you play this game and you're like chatting and like talking while you're doing it, right? In a sense.
Yeah, I mean, now that you put it that way, yeah, it does feel that way.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
then, like, if you do see them, later on in the week or in the day, they're like, "Oh, you killed it! You're really good at the game." Then it feels good.
Right.
Like
Right.
somebody's watching you. You're not doing it behind the scenes without nobody watching you.
Yeah, man.
Awesome,
For sure.
man.
For sure. Yoshi T here says, "Will you ever stream any Nintendo games?" Which I think what he's trying to say is, "Will you ever stream Yoshi's Island?"
That's
Just for
exactly what
him.
he's trying to
Just
say.
for him.
Yeah.
Just for him.
just for T.
Just for him.
I'd be there, dude.
Just
Like,
for him.
fuck.
It's gonna title this stream. This is for you, T. Yoshi.
Hashtag.
That's funny.
But
He also
I
comes
would.
back-
I would. To be honest, I would.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it takes too much to connect Nintendo
Oh my
Switch
god,
to
you gotta
my
get the
PC.
capture
Dude,
card and put it in the
don't.
thing.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
just
it,
like
the whole
this
thing.
such a
extra
pain in the
money.
ass,
It's
dude.
just like
And you have to have that setup too. Like it's not just
Yeah.
like having the stuff. You gotta like your desk is gonna get like insane with the wire. It's a thing.
like
It's
Yeah.
my desk is already insane with wires. Imagine with more wires. I'm just like,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
yeah.
I can't. So I can't be a streamer. I'll be honest, and that's kind of like answering Yoshi T's question over here. Will we ever stream, and if so, will we ever stream Kingdom Hearts? I don't think I'll ever stream Kingdom Hearts, man. That game would be exhausting to just play and try to like just understand what's going on in the midst of like talking and chat and all that stuff. But it's hard, man. Like I remember, Rob, when we first started doing the podcast and we were doing other stuff amongst the podcast, we were recording live streams from different I think it was what was it? There were a bunch of other like shows that we were recording.
Shows?
It was like events like we had Razer at one point. We had, I think it was E3 that like the first year that we started recording was E3, and we did like every single one that E3 was like showing off, and that was exhausting. Like by the end of it, we were like tired.
yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. We also did a Super Smash Brothers tournament that we did stream. We threw like a party at my old house, and we had a decent amount of people show up, and we did stream that live, and that was really fun doing that. But it's a lot of work. It was
Yeah,
a
but
lot
that
of
wasn't
work,
really
man.
that was streaming, but that wasn't us like being in front of the camera. You know what I mean? Like that was just recording what we were doing. You know?
Yeah. As far as streaming goes, like I think we'll do it one day. I think we're talking about ramping it up. Like I know Kelvin, if you're on the channel, guys, he did a lot of multiverses. Like he would stream playing that. But again, that's a game where it's kind of like you jump in and out, and
Right.
but to do Kingdom Hearts is
That's a tall order
that's
there.
a-
But I mean, I won't be against it because I love Kingdom Hearts. Like my Kingdom Hearts is my shit. But to stream it, that's a different story. That's a beast. You know.
I think what
Yeah, I
Yoshi's
mean-
trying to say, he's trying to play Kingdom Hearts with you guys.
That's hey man, we could play anytime, you know, like or at least I could watch you play, you could watch me play, that's fine. But yeah, man, it's tough. But again, you have a lot on your plate, but there's a few things that we haven't even talked about. We're running really long on time here, but I apologize. But real quick, I don't want to keep you up too much here, but you do streaming. You do your videography, right? You're in school, right? You're a junior in college.
Yeah.
You're also a motivational speaker, which you mentioned to us. I don't think a lot of people know that, or maybe they do from in your circle. But like, talk to us a little bit about that.
Motivate me, Ricky. Motivate me.
Oh, here it goes. I'm gonna get closer. I'm gonna get closer to the mic. No, I mean, I just been that one person that always like keeps people motivated around me. You know, like I was even told by this like it was a weird story, but I was even told by this random like older lady that like passed by us a long time ago. He was like, "Oh, you know that guy right there?" She pointed at me. She's like, "Keep him close to you because he's the one that's gonna keep you guys going." So like that always stuck like with me, and then like I don't know, man, just like I like motivating people, you know, like because I know I've been through a lot of stuff like throughout my life,
Yeah,
that probably people don't know about, but I want to use that to like make sure people don't go through the same things I'm going
100%.
through. Yeah.
And now, do you
Well
do you
said.
do content with your motivational speaking, or do you do motivational speaking at a church, like, or is it just something that you do kind
Oh,
of like on the side?
I just on the side whenever I get the urge to do it. If I feel motivated, I'm gonna do it. I don't want to post something now that I'm feeling down, but I'm gonna go post this because I feel like I'm feeling like I'm being fake at the time.
100%.
doing
Yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah.
So if I'm feeling motivated, then I'll push out the content. But I always push out the content on my Instagram, and I am starting to do it. My whole TikTok is about like motivational speaking. So for the most part, I'm starting to push it on my actual Instagram, like my posts.
Nice.
So, and I do want to start rolling out my YouTube channel, and like I want to like at least throw some motivation in there throughout like the videos, like dedicate a certain like section to that and see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we will put all of that stuff in the description and on the streaming services. We'll put all your links there, so
all the show
everyone
notes.
can go check it out. So we'll show everyone.
Rob, do you have any
That's awesome, man.
final questions? Anything you want to say before we head out?
No, man. I mean, it's awesome to have you on the show again. You're number one on the year, and I think we started off with a bang. And thank you for letting us into your world, dude. With like everything you do, like I said, you're juggling, you're putting a lot of hats, and that's really sick. And I learned a lot of shit today from you. So
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you.
There's one hat that we didn't touch either. Like you mentioned that you were a coach. What do you coach? What do you?
So I played soccer all my life.
Okay.
Long story short,
we're trying to figure out what he coached, and he's just like he coaches soccer. And I was like,
yeah, soccer. So long story short, I played professional in Turkey for a small amount of time, and
awesome. Wow, really?
I came back.
You're making us look bad, man. Like this is a shit. Like every guest that we get on here, they're just leaps and bounds of like
over here
just like
freaking
recording
Joe
shit.
Schmo is doing just
everybody has a fucking talent.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, you guys are talented. Like, look at like you guys do it so naturally. I'm just like, okay, what am I gonna say next? What am I gonna say next? But you guys just like do it so naturally. Like, you guys are amazing.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
So you guys are talented too. Don't never say you guys are.
That's that motivational speaking.
That's what that is right there. We got a little taste of it.
That's right. Hey, you asked for it. You asked for it.
Yeah. So, so professional soccer player? Is that what I heard? I
played in Turkey before, so
okay.
I mean, I never signed a contract, so I can't say I've been a professional, but I've been in that level.
What position did you play?
I play striker. I play forward.
Striker.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Dope. That's
yeah,
dope.
but I
actually
do
played a
coach,
little bit of
soccer.
soccer.
Oh, really?
I played when I was back when I used to live in New York with Rob, Paco and Julio. Those were my Mexican friends when I lived in the Bronx, and we had like we played all the time, and then we had like a little game tournament thing. I was young; it wasn't anything crazy, but I played a little bit of soccer, and I was terrible at it. So,
but yeah, I do coach college. I mean, I do coach high school soccer. I coach the varsity kids, so the older kids. Yeah.
Cool.
Interesting. Dope.
And you said you're a junior, right? You're a junior over at the.
Yeah, I'm a junior at Laverne University.
Cool. Dope. You got some opportunities ahead of you, man. So like the world is pretty much your oyster at this point. I think you're gonna kill it. So honestly, I'm not worried about you. I think you're gonna do all right. So
you're just getting started, man. Like you're already doing amazing things, dude. And I know, you have a great support system, obviously, like just from, who I know from Chazzy and just like the people that you surround yourself with, from what I saw from the Anime Pasadena recording and stuff like that. I thought that was really dope. And you got skills, man. You got a lot of things going for you. So thank you again for coming into our podcast and just talking to us tech stuff and talking to us about like what you do and what your lifestyle is. Guys, if you guys want to support him and you guys want to follow him, Ricky, where can they follow you?
You guys can follow me at R1 Lifestyle on Instagram, as well as TikTok and on Twitch as well. So I mainly do Instagram, Twitch, and TikTok. But
Dope.
stay tuned because I might come back with my YouTube channel again. So
Hey, all right.
hey,
Dope,
you never
dope.
know.
Awesome. Before we leave, since you asked for it, I will show you a small clip of some streaming. I don't have the one of us with the Fortnite, but I do have Gears of War 4 we were playing, Kel.
Nice. I want to see this.
All right.
Clip of that. So let me see if I can.
I don't remember this, so this is gonna be interesting.
pull this one up. So it's not. Is it gonna let me show it? I don't think it's gonna let me show it. It sucks. It won't let me show it, unfortunately, guys. It's because it's not on my browser. It's on. Actually, what if I do? No, it's not
Work your magic, Rob. No, it's not gonna work. That's all right.
But yeah, that's all right. Well, next time, I promise I'll show you guys what it looks like. But
Dope.
maybe.
All right. Well,
maybe eventually.
Ricky, thank you so
yeah.
much for stopping by, guys in the chat, guys who are listening, who are just tuning in. Thank you so much for listening and for watching us as well. We'll be back for episode 103 next week. We're back on the rolling stuff here now. You know, we took a week off, so now we're back.
One more thing, guys.
Yeah,
Don't
yeah.
forget to follow the new Anime Fire on
Yes.
YouTube and on
Yeah.
Instagram is at Anime Fire Official. So don't
Hell
forget that is big things coming soon. So you guys, I want everybody to be a part of it.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, definitely check that out, guys. Definitely check out their amazing work and stay tuned because they have a lot of things coming. And yeah, man, this has been episode 102. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are out.
Good night, everyone.
Thank you.